All right. So, my name is Dan Petty, as he just said. I'm a creative director at an agency called Wayno in San Francisco. It's ueno.co. Wayno, like no bueno, Wayno. I know a lot of people ask how to say that, but that's how you say it. Also the host of Epic Currents. I designed a bit, trying to be as cool as Drew over here, trying to catch up, but we'll see. And yeah, father of 2 girls, a husband, surfer, snowboarder, cool things like that. I'm also a vlogger. Sorry, this is weird. So before I start, I'm gonna ask my buddy Anthony to come vlog take over for me. Thank you. So this talk is super quick. It's actually not really a talk. It's an AMA. And ask me anything. I'm gonna stop coming over here. So I don't know if any of you have questions for me. You shouldn't. I'm a nobody. No one exciting. But if you do, we're gonna start with that. But if not, I have a plan, which will probably fail, but we'll try it. So the first half is gonna be an AMA. Ask me anything. Second half, if we get that far, or if we start with that, will be a ask y'all anything. So I get to ask some questions. So a little bit different. So yeah, but let's jump right into it because we're short on time. Does anyone have a question for me? Oh, we have one. Okay. And you can ask me anything. Like I will totally tell you whatever. Anything goes.
I don't know.
Do it. My whole life story?
Life story.
I'm 33, so that's going to take a while.
How you became a designer?
I'm sorry?
How you became a designer?
How I became a designer. Okay, I'll make it quick. Does anyone else have another question? Just to see if I need to make it quick? All right, yeah, okay, we'll go quick. So I became a designer when I was like 16 because, so like I said, I'm 33 now, I'm really old. But when I was 16, I really wanted to start a business. I was really into cars that, you know, with body kits and weird paint jobs and spoilers and wheels and things that make them jump up and down. And I wanted to create a website, an online magazine basically. Like there wasn't really anything back in the day. So I wanted to create one. So I knew developers, but I knew no designers and I had no money to pay for it. So my mom was a teacher, had Photoshop, I went to her school, started playing around, and then I started, you know, just making a bunch of stuff, went to school for it, and still to this day I'm designing. So short story, but that's how I got started, because I just wanted to do businesses. Not like I was obsessed with design or anything, I just wanted to create companies. That's how I got started. All right, let's go deeper. You were first. Hey, I know you.
Yeah, I know you.
Are you drawing?
I am.
Can you do this? I want one of these.
Okay. It's in there. So, I was wondering if you could tell us why you started Epic Currents.
Okay, yeah, it's easy. I needed a reason to go snowboarding and take off of work. Seriously, like, so I went full-time at a company called Lux. I've been a freelancer for a really long time. I went full-time for a startup in San Francisco called Lux LA, and I was a creative director there, only designer there, so I get to pick whatever I want, whatever. I was working full-time, you know, Monday to Friday, whatever, 9 to 6, and I couldn't go snowboarding. And so it was like around the holidays, I reached out to some buddies like, hey, how can we go snowboarding? We need an excuse. And not just on the weekends, because I have family, I don't want to waste my time, you know, I want to be with them on the weekends and not with other people. So I need an excuse. And my excuse was to start a little gathering. It was supposed to be like 5 to 10 people, and just to go snowboarding for like 2 days. And during the week. And then it turned into an event to give us an excuse because our bosses weren't already letting us off just for asking. So I was like, all right, let's make it official. So this is a conference now. We have 10 people. So we have an excuse to go snowboarding, and then it turned into 55 people, and we had fun, so we decided to continue it. But it really just started, honestly, as an excuse to get off work to go snowboarding. And that's why it's still during the week, so we can all get off work.
Makes sense.
What's up? You here?
So you have a pretty open and transparent life through your blog, which I really appreciate. What's the best and worst thing that's come out of that?
Out of the vlog?
Yeah, being so transparent, so open.
Yeah, so I've only been blogging for like 4 weeks now, I think. And I was trying to do it every day. I've missed like 4 or 5 days. It's really challenging, but it's been really creatively challenging for me. It's been a lot of fun that way. But I think the biggest, was it a benefit question? You said benefit?
Good and bad.
Good and bad. The good, the benefit is a lot of younger designers have reached out to me. A lot of people wanting to know what it's like to be in San Francisco as a designer, like they're, you know, whether they're afraid of it or whatever. They can see what it's like a little bit. And that's actually the whole point we're doing. I want to show people what it's like to be a designer in San Francisco, because I don't know, some people have different pros and cons to that, but it's actually a lot of fun. So I want to show that side, show how easy it is to just go have conversations with people. The downside is my wife won't let me film her. So I'm still limited on what I can show. But no, it is exhausting. Like I'm struggling to do other work that's good, because I vlog full time. It takes me like 3 to 4 hours to edit each one. I try to put one up every day, just to edit. I'm not talking about filming. I still full time at Bueno in San Francisco. I still freelance full time in the mornings and at night, and I have 2 little girls and a wife, and I mean the whole thing. So it's exhausting, but I'm growing like crazy, just personally out of that. So that's a good part about it. That. Oh. Where'd the light go?
It's right here, bro.
Oh. Stole it. Like the board chain up over here.
Alright, so Epic Currents. People love it, people hate it. Obviously you started.
Oh, people love it.
People love it. Alright, sorry, my bad.
Gosh.
Alright, so obviously whatever that's gone has had a big impact on them. I'm curious to hear from you as the host. You started it as this one thing, it's totally just blown up. What impact has that had on you?
Okay, good question. First of all, it's not as cool as ValleyCon. ValleyCon's the best conference in the world. But yeah, so what impact has it had on me? It's honestly allowed me to be more open and have better conversations with people. Like I'm a total introvert. I'm super quiet, super shy. And you can ask Louisa, who works with me, like I probably don't ever talk in the office. I can just kind of in my little zone. But after doing Epic Currents, I just feel like I'm more, like I could do this a lot easier, you know? Like I'm usually shaking like crazy right now or whatever, but it's helped me grow personally to be a more outgoing person and to have conversations with people a little bit more and things like that. So I mean, that's actually one of the greatest benefits for me. That and all the relationships you get, of course. But personally, you know, it's growing. It's helping me grow. Like we should constantly, you know, be growing, learning, whatever it is. And that's my way of doing that. Because that was my biggest weakness, is communication skills and just being open to people. So that's helped a lot. Let's go harder. Come on, somebody says, oh, Aubrey was first. He's got the mic. You lose either way.
Sorry. So I think you're pretty good at a lot of stuff, like throughout your career. Like,
I'll pay you later. Thank you.
What's that?
I'll pay you later for that.
Yeah. But you've been good at photography and web design and lots of different stuff, right? Now, looks like you're pretty good at editing video, throwing a conference, a lot of stuff. What do you personally think that you're not good at, and what do you want to do better?
Great question. Well, thank you for the nice words. I appreciate that. I don't believe you, but I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm terrible at a lot of things. Like I just said, one of my biggest weaknesses is communication. I'm by far not the smartest person in any room. I stumble over my words all the time. I'm dyslexic in school. I couldn't really read, and still don't ever read to this day. So I mean, things like that are definitely things I'm bad at, and I really want to be good at, which is why I started blogging and currents and all these things, because I want to grow in that area so bad. Like, I have 2 little girls now, I want to be able to like talk to her friends' parents and all this stuff, but I struggle with that stuff like crazy. Even like pitching design work, I still struggle with it, even though that should be my biggest strength, right? I've been doing this for so long. I'm so nervous every time I have to do that. But after I started at the Currents, and after I had my 2 little girls, and just started being more open, I've just kind of grown in that area. But ever since I started designing, just communication's been my weakest thing for sure, by far. But thank you for that question. Sorry, Juan has a question first. Of course he has a question.
Alright, so I had the pleasure to go to the second one, right? Hawaii. It was fucking awesome. So the thing,
Beep.
sorry. Oh yeah, I literally repeated Alright.
Out.
Alright. So, you know, it was awesome, and I think that, you know, you were really, like, everyone's inspired by that, and everyone wants to go, and, you know, it was exclusive, it's still exclusive and all of that. There were some tweets that there was potentially, you know,
Really
no more
gonna go there?
interference.
Okay.
You know, and so all I'm asking is, you know, essentially, is everything, you know, figured out? You announced the 4th one, right? So, what have been the problems?
What tweets? There's a lot. So what tweets?
True. Let's make the last one, you know, count and that kind of thing. Everyone was like, you know, afraid that there was not going to be any epic appearances moving forward, and so everyone was like, let's keep this going. You know, this is awesome. So that's
okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to make things better, but that's why I tried another one. But so most conferences, we don't make money. You know, we actually spend a lot of money. We lose a lot of money. I lost on the last 2 epic occurrences. I lost my entire life savings. Literally, I paid to do this conference. Everything I had. I almost had to sell my cars, everything. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff went into it. I won't go too much deeper. But so there wasn't going to be another one because of that, and there was going to be another one because a lot of people, rightfully so, were complaining about the diversity at my events, the price of my events, but all kinds of things. There's a lot to complain about. So I've been trying each time to get better at those, even though I jacked up the price for this next one that I launched, announced. But diversity was something that I really tried hard on, and I think we improved on it on the last one. Were you at Montu's? Was anyone here at the Montu's? Yes. How's diversity?
It was good. It was very long. It was very, very long, but it was good.
Yeah. Anyone else? Oh, one person here? All right, that's cool. Oh yeah. Diversity?
Yeah, it's good. It's getting there.
Okay, get there. See, Ben, thank you. They get there. So it's something, I mean, it's challenging, but it's something I've been working on. So that was another reason why I wanted to quit, because people, you know, I was making people upset, and that's the last thing I want to do. I mean, because I'm doing this for relationships. I'm not doing this clearly to make money. So for relationships, and when those kind of, you know, die down, I don't want to do it anymore. It's not exciting. So, but yeah, those are the big challenges. Whether they're solved or not, I don't know. Like I said, I checked up the price even more because I'm tired of spending my life savings on this stuff. And my wife's like, you got one more chance. If you don't break even or make money, you can't do this again. So.
No, but it goes to prove that the community was behind you, and that's what it was.
100%, yeah, 100%. And that's the greatest thing about conferences like Valio and Epic Currents is like the community really is behind you if you put your heart into it like Drew does and I do. The community will back you no matter. I mean, because we do this stuff for you guys, right? This has nothing to do with me or him. It's for all you and everyone else kind of watching from the sidelines. But yeah. Anybody else? Something harder?
Can you get more specific on diversity issues?
Oh. Wow, that's probably the first. So I'm going to put it back at you.
Well,
Yeah, so like, I'll just try to explain the best I can. At my events, there's probably like 50% white male, and then probably 20% white, or 30% white female, and then it just gets even smaller and smaller from there. Like there hasn't been a strong diversity, a racial divide, even gender divide, until the Montus, when I specifically tried to make it like even on every single thing, which was impossible in a way. It was a huge challenge, but it was the most diverse event that I had. But I think I just learned that, and people from the outside look at it as if, you know, I'm not inviting everyone from all the divides, but because I am. It's just, you know, there's not as many. It's invite only, right? But people have to request an invite to get an invite. So like, you know, I only invite the people that request, and it's like you only get a certain amount of people that are requesting because of different things, and I don't know. It's a really touchy subject. I don't know how to explain it the best, but yeah, I'm trying each time to put it on the front of my mind to be more diverse, have more women at my conferences, you know, have more racial divide at my conference and stuff like that. But because I honestly have never been too aware of it as I've been just freelancing and working in my little closet for so many years. But now that I'm more out in the public, I start to realize that and how serious of a problem it is. Yeah, especially in our industry. But it ain't harder. It's like freelance stuff. How much do I charge? How do I charge?
How much do you charge?
That was like an example, dude. Yeah. I will answer that.
So freelancing all this time, you get to be really picky and choosy about like who you work with, brands you like, who you're stoked on. And then going to somewhere like Wayno, you might start having to work on projects that you aren't stoked on, or unless you know it's really good at mitigating that. I'm just wondering how you handle situations where you know you're the designer with availability, therefore you're on the project. How do you navigate that?
Yeah. So thankfully, Wayno is one of the best agencies, if not the best, right now. I'm actually the worst designer there, so that's the truth. And the oldest, probably, gosh. But luckily, you know, we work on projects like Boosted Chords. So we just launched our website on Thursday. Uber's a big client of ours. We work on cool drone apps that follow you around automatically and just all kinds of cool stuff. So I haven't really ran into that issue yet at an agency like Wayno of having a project that I don't want to work on, you know? If I did, I mean, even in freelance, sometimes I get those projects where, sadly, I work on them for the money. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen a lot. Sometimes you need money and you take projects. I think it's just part of the business. I think you have to do that sometimes. Obviously, if you're doing that full time, I don't think that's okay. I think that's bad for you. But sometimes you have to. I mean, sometimes it is about a paycheck sometimes. But don't let it be about a paycheck all the time. I don't know if that answers a little bit. Did we lose the mic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
your
first full-time gig? You've done a lot of freelance, right? So.
Yeah, I've done a lot of freelance, but Wayno is my first. Well, so I was at Lux Ballet, a startup in San Francisco, and so the advisor of that company. That was my first full-time. That's my first time I've ever been at a job for a year. I've been designing for 11 years now or so. First time I've ever been anywhere for a year. But now Wayno, I've been there for 3 months or so, something like that. Not even 3 months, not good. Yeah, I mean.
So what made you decide to make that switch? Or like what was the things you were worried about that didn't really matter at all anyway?
For me, so I love freelance. I always want to be a freelancer. The reason I went full time was strictly financially. Like I said, I just got done spending my entire life savings on Epicurrents, and I needed some money, and I needed some steady money because I have a family, And I shopped around for a little bit, and Wayno being the best agency, I wanted to be a part of that. So that's why I'm there right now. But for a lot of my friends are there too. It's seriously the most fun place to work. So it was a no-brainer for me. Yeah. Who has the hardest question out of the three up? And then everyone's hands go up. Come on, we gotta get serious.
Do you ever work with remote clients, or what is your relationship with building a client base if you aren't working in the same city?
Yeah, good question. A lot of my clients are remote when I freelance, and even though they're still in San Francisco, I still never go in their office. I might go in there once, but usually never at all. So we usually just talk. I don't like to use Slack. I don't like to use email. I don't like to use any of these other fancy things. I don't even do phone calls, to be honest. Because I hate to talk. I'm not a good communicator. I do text. So if I have a client, no matter who they are, how big they are, we're texting constantly. And I see it immediately, because I treat my clients as something serious, so I see it immediately. And I also think of my clients as friends. I want them as friends. And I feel like texting is the most intimate you can be without having phone calls. I mean, phone calls still can be too businessy. But if you could just text anyone, like even just super loose text, you almost immediately become friends in a way. And I always treat my clients that way. So I always prefer text message over anything. But that's how I keep in touch with people. And I show my designs that way. I just drop it in my message, and there it is. Or shoot them my Dropbox link. But yeah, I mean that's how I do it. I mean, even if I'm in San Francisco, yeah, I hardly ever go into their offices. But I'll read.
There's someone else over here.
Oh, sorry. Still want to ask? How much time do we have, Drew?
A little bit.
A little bit. We got a little bit of time.
So I'm kind of curious what exactly you do at Wayno. I saw.
What do I do?
And as a creative director, what does that mean at Wayno? I saw on your blog that you're working at the computer and just like any other designer. I'm curious, what does that have any meaning for you? What does that role look like at Wayno?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that term, creative director, art director, whatever it is, has definitely changed a lot over the years. So my background is traditional advertising agency, where creative directors actually do concepting, come up with ideas. They still design, but they're usually the guys kind of just, not leading a project, but helping, just there to give ideas and whatnot, good copywriting ideas, design ideas, whatever it is. So when I was in school, my first goal was to be art director, my next goal was to be the creative director, and other than that, it's your own agency, right? So I still have that mentality today, just because it was my dream when I got started. So being the creative director at Wayno is a little bit different, because we're all basically on the same playing field. We're all just designers, and like I said earlier, I'm the worst designer there, and probably have the worst ideas there, because those guys are crazy talented. But for me, it's still just I'm there to do concepts. So whenever we get a big project, I'm there to just kind of help with concepts and help the other guys that are designing give a few ideas here and there, even though they don't need them because they're crazy. But that's kind of the role of a creative director, just in general. We're just kind of there to help with ideas and stuff. But at Wayno, I'm still designing. I still do production design and all kinds of stuff. It's usually more one-on-one with a client. I mean, at Wayno, we're all one-on-one with the clients. That's part of it being there. But traditionally, you're usually the one that kind of does the client relationship, everything. That's usually the role of the director. It's kind of skewed these days, though, with all the startups and everything going on. People just throw that term out there. It's kind of meaningless now. All titles are, really. Yes?
All right, so can everyone hear me? All right, so you want to get real.
Yeah.
I got a question that's maybe a little more real.
Okay.
Can you tell, and I think the reason behind this question is because it's really easy to take an example of what went well, right? That's kind of something we put out all the time. And a good way to learn is from a mistake. So what's the biggest time you ever
biggest time
Yeah, like the
blew it?
worst you ever blew it in your career as a designer. What's like the biggest one?
So many.
So bad. The client was the most pissed, or you maybe it sounds like appearance was a loss leader, so maybe other than that, as far as like money, blood, something huge.
Well, just one example that comes to mind. Though this is not the biggest one. It was the first one that comes to mind. As a freelancer, I don't do contracts. I don't do agreements. I'm super loosey-goosey. I just like, yeah, you want to do a site? Dude, let's do it. You pay me right eventually. I don't ask for half up front, whatever. I don't ask for anything. I just start designing. And we just get this relationship going. That's why I say like, the relationship is the most important thing for me. I don't want to contract for a relationship. It's just weird to me. Don't follow this advice by any means. It's only not worked once for me. Doesn't mean it doesn't work for everyone. But I did this project for one of the founders of Salesforce. Super famous dude. I don't care to say who he is because I don't like him. I did this crazy project for him, and like I said, no agreements or whatever. And we worked on it for like 2 months. He owed me $40,000. And at the end of the project, handed him all my files. Never thought about anything. Super famous guy. Has like 5 houses in San Francisco. Has the most expensive house in San Francisco. And totally never paid me. Still to this day. This was like 4 years ago. And I just got married. Like I really needed that money or whatever. Spent all my time on this project. And I tried to sue him and all this stuff, and then my lawyer's like, you don't want to sue this guy because he countersues everyone, and he always wins because he's like a multi-billionaire. His excuse for not paying me was because I put up a portfolio piece that I did 2 years prior on my Behance, and he was like, by putting up that portfolio piece, you worked on another project while you were working on mine. So legally, I don't know, he had something going on, but he didn't pay me. So my biggest failure, I think, as a designer sometimes is having too much trust in people in a way and not doing a background check on some of these people. Like you immediately think, oh, co-founder of Salesforce? Shut up, dude, that's cool. And one Google search showed that he's never paid taxes, all kinds of other stuff. So, I mean, that's just like one example of being a bad business. I'm a terrible business guy. Like I said, I lost my entire life savings on it. Why? And I just announced another one. Who in the right mind would do that? So, yeah, I think for me, like, I would, if I could do it over again, I would focus more on the business side of stuff. But I don't care. I don't know. It's not what it's about for me. But I'm trying to think if there's no just huge bomb. I work way too much. I would never do that again. I've been hospitalized twice from overwork. Literally almost died both times. Like no lie. Like I was told, yeah, you should probably just take a break and not just like do one job. Go full time somewhere. And I started doing all this stuff. Working even more. But yeah, I probably would stop doing that. I say that and I'm not, but I don't know.
Too stressed.
Nice. Okay, we'll keep going. There's no way I would understand it.
Oh, no, I just...
Yeah, thanks. Deeper. At RG. Can we talk about your Twitter handle? Sure. Okay, is it RGBE or R like red, green, blue, or is it like RGB?
RGB.
Okay, what's RG?
It's supposed to be RGB.
So confusing.
You remembered it.
No, I love it. Yeah, see, there you go.
So going back to what you just kind of finished that last one with, a lot of people talk about work-life balance, and that means like a lot of things to a lot of different people, and it should mean something different to everyone. How do you kind of manage that? Obviously, you said you were hospitalized and you should stop, but something keeps going because you have passion or money or whatever it is. Like, what is that for you?
I think the biggest secret that I learned from doing all this stuff and getting, you know, health issues and whatnot, but being able to continue is, it sounds super bad. Let's not blog this one. No, let's blog this one.
You can edit.
This sounds really bad. Louisa, don't tell Holly this. I don't care as much anymore. It sounds super bad to say, but I honestly think it's a good thing. Like, you gotta have just fun with things, right? Like, whoa, should I have had that high all this time? Okay. Yeah, I don't care anymore. I'm just having more fun, like blogging and just doing whatever, just focusing on concepts and whatnot, not taking things seriously, not taking life seriously. You know, I think that changed a lot when I had my 2 girls too. I just, you know, stopped caring about, you know, not stop caring about myself, but start caring about like, oh, I have this big career and all this stuff, make all this money. I just want to have a good life. And once I got in that mindset and stopped caring about, you know, making millions of dollars and being a really well-known person or whatever, and successful startups, I felt that this stress just went away. Like, I have no pressure on myself right now. Nothing. My only pressure is to provide for my family. That's it. That's a big pressure. But I had like, oh, I have to, by the time I'm 30, I need $1 million. I'm 33 now. We'll talk about if I hit that or not. I didn't, but very close. But, you know, I had all these goals and pressures that I was constantly putting on myself. And once I got rid of that, it just, my work-life balance just made sense. You know? I just started focusing on surfing and my family and things like that, and work was way next. I just do it because, you know, it pays me and I kind of have to. But it's not my biggest joy. I don't consider myself a designer. Someone asks me what I do, you know, I'm a father, so I like to surf, I might say blogging first, and then I'll eventually get to design, but I definitely don't think of myself as a designer.
What does it mean to you
To live a good life? Live a good life. I guess it's really, you know, having a happy family, I think, being happy myself. And I think once my mindset changed, I definitely became a happier person. And once I started putting more focus on my family, definitely became a happier person. So I think a good life for me is having, you know, a healthy family, happy family, you know, being there for them, being there for my wife and everything, being known as that first, and then I have an incredible life. As long as I can keep surfing and stuff on the side too, you know, that'd be fun. But yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question. Gosh. Anybody else? Something crazier? Drew? One more? We have one more. I didn't even get to do all the stuff I wanted to do. I have my whole handwritten of stuff I wanted to do.
So I think the format of this has been really interesting and different for us to experience.
Good.
But I'm curious, what is like the big thing you want us to take away from you talking to us like now?
I was hoping the questions that you guys would ask, so you guys would get a little bit deeper. But I don't know. I guess that goes to whatever questions you guys ask. I will want you guys to get out of it. You know, I hope you guys understand that, you know, we're all designers, developers, or whatever. Are there developers in here? Designer developers in here. Should designers code? Raise your hand.
Wait, what's raising your hand? Yes or no?
I take no sides in this argument.
You implied a side by asking it.
I think designers should CODE. With the period engine of those, I'll tell you what that means. But no, I think if you got anything out of this, I think just understanding that, you know, even though we work a lot, it's not the most important thing that we do. Sure, it pays the bills or whatever, but I think you guys just need to, if you learn anything from me, don't overwork yourself. Don't put it as the #1 thing in this world. Like, there's so many more important things than making money and like a ton of money. But you gotta laugh. I'm serious. You like, I want money. Yeah, I don't know. I think don't overwork yourself and you just have fun. Don't take our jobs too seriously. We're not on a pedestal. We're just people just working. Do things outside of work. Don't work too hard. Get up from your desk. Don't just sit down all day for all these hours that we work constantly, or you'll end up in the hospital like me over and over again. And I still have health issues today because of that, and I always will. Just because I thought work was everything. So hopefully someone gets that, at least one person.